Good evening and welcome to the Cheltenham Exchange. Another trainer interview. Wow. So we're joined this evening by the legendary Paul Nicholls, OBE. Mr. Nicholls, thank you ever so much for coming on with us. Massively appreciated. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks for asking me. Yeah, you can't wait to get the season going. Get some rain and we might be able to get cracking on.
Oh, absolutely. It was seemed the ground was a bit firm at Chepstow on the weekend, was it? Judging by the non-runners.
It was a lot quicker than what they said, particularly the chase track. So obviously didn't want to take any chances. So probably my two best chances over the 2 days, Welcome to Carter's and Blue Kangaroo didn't run. But it was too quick really for the time of year. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thanks for coming on. We'll try and keep you not too long and try and be as professional as we can. We've got Ian on board as well, and Jonny. Jonny's been a bit under the weather, but soldiered on tonight. And Alex. How are we all doing, fellas? All okay?
Very good, OJ. Yeah. Very good.
Enjoyed the racing on the weekend?
Yes. Tipped a few winners on the Friday. Not so good on the Saturday, and Celtic Dino was very good on Sunday. But just a shame that, as Paul said, the weather disappointed with some of the non-runners with the fast ground.
Yeah, not that typical Welsh weather.
No,
but it is early October. I mean, it was only what was it, 10th, 11th, 12th of October. It's always quick this time of year. It was just quick, and we were led to believe. Looking back in hindsight, it's probably hard to water this time of year after dry summer. You put as much water as you want on some of those tracks and it won't make any difference. But it was just the fact that it was given as good to soft hurdles and good on the chase, and it was way quicker than both those going descriptions. But there we are, move on, and then we learned a lesson for another year.
Is it because they used the hurdle track for the flat track as well, Paul? Is that why?
That's what they do, and that was a bit easier, but it definitely wasn't good to soft as was described. It was good, safe ground, that was fine, but the chase track was very fast, and there's no way you'd take chances with very good horses.
No.
It wasn't good as described anyway, put it that way.
Brilliant. So, as obviously legendary training career. You've been training for 34, 35 years now, Paul. Was it always natural progression once you finished in the saddle that you were going to go into training?
Well, it wasn't always necessarily natural progression. It's what I wanted to do after I had a good few years riding, rode some nice horses, but I got injured towards the end, and I was assistant to David and Jenny Barons, won the national in 91 with Seagram. I thought that I'd like to set up on my own, but when you've got no money and nowhere to start, it wasn't quite so easy. So I really had no idea what I was going to do. And one day, it's been well documented, there was an advert in the, I think it was probably Sporting Life at the time, of the Racing Post, advertising the small yard in Ditchett for rent. It said successful applicant will have the support of the landlord, which was Paul Barber. So I was straight on the phone to him, came up to see him the next day, which was a Sunday. The rest is history. Started with 8 horses and built it up from there.
A very good decision made, I think.
It's been good for both of us. Sadly we lost Paul a couple of years ago, but we both became very close friends and had some fantastic success together. And I think you can safely say, as you did, it was good for both of us.
Excellent. I mean, obviously, so many great wins and so many great horses to talk about on a personal level. I mean, Cato Star and Denman, their battles in the Gold Cup and so on. What really got me into jumps racing, and I think, as an onlooker looking at your achievements, I think it's fair to say that you look at not only the horses, but Cato Star. You look at the race, the King George, and you think of Cato Star. You look at the World Hurdle, and you think of Big Bucks. The achievements with those horses coming back time and again to win were phenomenal, to be honest with you. But if I was to ask you what you consider your greatest achievement or most satisfying achievement, putting you on the spot, what do you think?
It's so hard to say which was the most satisfying achievement. I was watching some replays the other day of all those different horses, different races, and one that stood out in particular was when Denver won the second Hennessy Gold Cup. Been off for a while. He carried top weight, and commentators saying that was one of the great weight carrying performances of all time. And that was a very, very special day. And we had lots of special days with the time. But I suppose the longevity of those horses was probably a highlight, really. Corto, Masterminded, Big Bucks, Neptune Collonge, and they were brilliant. They kept on battling year after year. And, Corto won 2 Gold Cups, one lost to them and then regained it, won 5 King Georges, 4 Betfair Chasers, a couple of Tingle Creeks, go on and on and on. He was probably, the highlight probably was, I'd have to say, was jointly training Corto and Denman.
Brilliant. Well,
Could do with a few of them now.
You never know.
Denman was my favourite. I remember running in on a Friday, getting back just in time for a Gold Cup and whack it. Brilliant memories.
Yeah, he was a lot of people's favourite. He was a very good horse, obviously, but you think that Corto actually probably the best season he had. He was very nearly unbeaten. He started off winning the Old Road, and then he won the Betfair Chase, switched him back to 2 miles, won the Tingle Creek, and then he went up and won the King George and the Gold Cup. That was a fantastic year. Not many horses ever do that again.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Moving more present day, I think it's worth mentioning that Stage Star recently retired. It's been a good horse for you the last few years.
Yeah, fantastic horse, from the day he started winning his bumper as a 4-year-old. He won a Challow Hurdle as a novice. Then he ended up winning the Turners, the Paddy Power Gold Cup. Ran some really, really good races over 5 or 6 years, and it's just sad. He's sad in a lot of ways that we won't see him again. But also, I'm very happy the fact that he's retired at the top, as it were, basically in one piece, and he have a good life. So he's in a good place. He's been fantastic for us, and we'll always be indebted to him. And I know the owners group, the amazing fun that those owners had with him was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of your current crop, I know Ian will go through, and Jonny and Alex will probably want to question you on a couple of horses. But yeah, your record overall, 3,866 career wins so far, I think we make it. It's just phenomenal. 20 already this season, I believe.
Yeah.
We're not going to be long getting to that 4,000 mark. Fingers crossed.
No, we're looking forward to that. Yeah, it's a lot of winners. I tend to forget how long I've been training, really, and as you said, been here to ditch it. I think I moved here on October the 19th, 91. So that's about 34 years. Yeah, I'm very nearly 4,000 winners. I'd never imagined that. It'd be nice to get that milestone up one day. So we're very lucky.
Fantastic. And putting you on the spot again a little bit, having been doing this for so long, are there any, let's say, up-and-coming trainers that you particularly would say that could be on the road to greatness? Well,
I'd say Dan Skelton, without a shadow of doubt. He was my assistant for 9 years. He's done very, very well, and will keep doing well. Huge support from his family, Harry and his dad. They've got a big operation, and they've done very, very well, without a shadow of doubt. And Harry Durham, my nephew, again, he was my assistant. So a lot of our assistants have done very well. Christian Williams, Harry Fry, Alistair Ruff, Sam Thomas. There's a lot of guys that were involved in the yard have done very well. There's some very, very good young trainers out there at the moment. James Snowden was with us, and they're all doing well. So they're all, there's a good team of young trainers out there. But I say Dan will ultimately be champion trainer before any of the others, I'd say.
Yeah. We had Christian on recently, and Ian and Alex spoke to Jamie recently, and everybody's been
good
so
guys.
great.
Good guys, you know what I mean.
Really nice guys.
Lovely. Shall I pop a couple of questions that we got from Twitter, Ian, and then
go for it.
Not too long. So, Road to Cheltenham on Twitter asked, "Do you have any entries for the Down Royal meeting in a few weeks?"
Yeah, I picked Doris in the big chase on the Saturday, which I think we won 5 or 6 times in the past. Frodon, Cordo Star, Seymour Business. Been a good race for us. He's in that. He's also in the Charlie Hall. We haven't yet made a decision. I'll probably have a chat with Jonny about it later on, actually. He wouldn't want to go anywhere where the ground was too soft, that's for sure. So we'll just see. The way the weather is in this country at the moment, whether we could just be ideal. We're dying to run him over 3 miles. The idea of going into Down Royal, in my view, was that he does like going right-handed. He's very good, obviously, at Ascot, Sandown and places like that. But he's won at Newbury as well. So, so he's in there, but he's not a certain runner at the moment. We'll keep our options open. It'll be either that or the Charlie Hall.
Brilliant. Thank you. Another question we had, Shrewd Napper again, Ian. He's
Yeah.
Will Grand Garçon go novice hurdling?
Yes. Grand Garcon will go novice, and he's ready to run. Basically, like a lot of them are, but won't run anywhere until we get some proper rain, proper ground.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. The Bets About asks, is there any update on Captain Bellamy?
Captain Bellamy's in good shape. He's again, like all of them, waiting for rain. Then be novice chasing. He's got a marker 120, which I think is quite workable, and so he'll be running a novice handicap chase.
Lovely. Rain It In asks, any update on Tishan?
Yeah, he's doing plenty of work. He again, like I've just said, with all those other want some rain. He's probably about a month off a run. He came in, having had a bit of time off. He's big as a bull. It's a sort of thing this year. I don't know why. Whether it's because the weather's been so good and they did so well out in the fields during the summer because it was dry and they did well. They're taking a little while to get fit. They're all carrying plenty of timber at the moment, so they're gonna have a hard month's graft now to get them fit. But he's one of them, you know. So he's definitely in Fat Boys Club at the moment. He's getting plenty of extra work. He's fine.
Lovely. And the last one, David Lloyd asks, any update on Go West?
Yeah, he's working hard. About 3 weeks off a run. He'll go novice chasing.
Lovely. Well, thank you very much. I'm wary of going on too long, so I think Ian's going to work through a list of horses. I know, Jonny, you were particularly interested in Caldwell Potter, who obviously had a fantastic end to the season. Do you want to kick off there?
Yeah, Paul. My question was, obviously, with him winning well at Cheltenham, he looked like he could have won over another 4 furlongs as well, and then obviously he backed it up at Aintree. Do you think that if you'd have entered him in the Browns advisory, he could have won that?
I don't know. We were at the right. We were starting point of really stepping him up in trip from running over 2 mile at Windsor. So that would have been a brave shout, and I felt he was well handicapped. So that having that opportunity to go in that handicap was ideal, and then of course we stepped on. I'm not totally convinced he's a true stayer. He's got plenty of speed. He won at Aintree in spite of he out jumped everything else. There's a few incidents in behind him, so he's got to prove to us that he's a true stayer. So that's why I've got in my mind Ryanair and Gold Cup later in the season. If he's good enough, he's got to take a step forward. But by then we'll find out.
I mean, his jumping was brilliant, wasn't it? He just went out the front and just bounded. And it was like,
he does jump fantastically well. That's a big plus with any good chaser. And he scored this morning actually, and he's got an entry in Newton Abbott on Saturday in a intermediate chase. I don't know whether we'll take that up or not. It just makes me nervous without any rain forecast. It would be ideal timing to run there before the Paddy Power or the Betfair Chase. Has been a good stepping stone race for us for a lot of horses in the past, but for him to run this weekend, he'll have to do a good piece of work later on Thursday morning, and I'll be happy with the ground, you know. But he's ready to go.
Ready to go. No, good. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Ian, do you want to get the thumb screws out?
What I'll do, also, I've got a list of horses. If you're happy, just to give us a quick update, and we'll go from there. We'll start with Kalif de Berlais. He had got a rate to the 156. He won the novice chase at Aintree, the 2 mile. Was he similar sort of route, that 2 miles, straight 2 miles?
Yeah, I think he proved to us he's got plenty of boot. He jumps very well, which is what you want as a good 2 miler. He stays strong over 2 miles. Yeah, I mean, at the moment he's been headed towards a Holden Gold Cup on, I think it's the 7th of November. Is it the Friday? 3 weeks time, but again, you know, Exeter lost a meeting the other day. I think they're struggling next week. We'll need some rain. I wouldn't risk him on ground too quick, so then we'd have to probably look at the slur chase at Cheltenham the week after, and then if he ran well in one of those, we could have a look at the Tingle Creek. But yeah, he's a very smart horse, but he needs to take it like Caldwell Potter to the next level.
Okay, next one I've got is Blue King Daru. Did have an entry. You said about the ground for Chepstow. Have you got him scheduled to maybe go somewhere else in the next few weeks?
Yeah, again, I'm going to talk to Jonny in a minute about that. He's actually in at Newton Abbott on Saturday in the intermediate chase. So if we didn't run Caldwell Potter, we could well run him in that, you know, and he actually gets in quite nicely in that races because it's his debut over fences, never won a chase. Basically, they get a handy little weight, and for a horse rated 150 odd, that would be ideal. And obviously, back along, Braidman's Game won that race on his debut over fences and then went on to do good things. So it's a good race to run him. So he's possible for Saturday if we don't run Potter.
Okay. Next horse is Rubaud, who I noticed that it's got a chase mark of 148. He's got an entry at Kempton on Sunday, the race he won last season. Is he like a similar sort of route as last season?
Yeah, I would say. I'm whether I want to take on Bernadette Road on Sunday, I don't know. Probably if he doesn't, if the ground was too quick for Caldwell Potter, for Kalif de Berlais, he could possibly run the Horden Gold Cup. There's a couple of sort of good 2-mile chases around about the time. There's a 100-gram race at Ascot. There's one later in November, and again there is the Horden Gold Cup. So he loves good ground. So we'll make a plan with him in the next couple of weeks. He is into Sunday, but I'm not sure. As I said, I want to take on Bernadette Road.
Okay. Next horse, Regent Stroll. Hurdle mark of 143. He was behind Honesty Policy in the Mersey Novices hurdle. Was he one for chasing, Paul?
Yeah, he'd definitely go and chase him. Again, he needs to rein. He's improved physically, kept getting better all last season. I think there's a lot to come from him. Exciting horse.
Excellent. Next one,
I've got nothing
Ilvadoto.
in from him yet. Sorry.
Ilvadoto is the next one. He was in the second in the Jonny on Sunday.
Ran a nice race.
How is he?
Yeah, came out of the race very well. He goes straight for the Paddy Power Gold Cup now, obviously.
Excellent. Okay. Next up, we're talking about horses coming out. Was welcome to Cartries, chase marker 133. Have you got maybe another race for him, Paul?
Well, it's hard. I would have liked to run him in a Badger Ales chase at Wincanton and the first Saturday, or the 8th of November, I think it was. But because he's a novice and he's only run twice over fences, he's not qualified. And Friday would have done the job properly for us. He'd got qualified, but now I'm in a bit of trouble, so I can't see him going for that race. So we'll just go in some beginners chases somewhere. And I think, he's a nice horse. We'll keep improving.
Next horse I read about was Captain Teague, chase mark of 142, but he stays a novice because of the walkover he had.
Yeah, well, he won't be ready to run until after Christmas, January time. He had a little bit of a setback last year. He's back in work now, but he definitely won't run until sort of mid-January. And then he can novice chase till the end of the season.
Perfect. Okay. Next one, Jubilee Alpha, hurdle rated of 137.
Yeah, nice.
Would she go chasing, Paul?
No, she'll stay hurdling, and she'll probably start off in the Richard Barber Memorial at Wincanton on the 8th of November. 2 mile 5 suits her well. She wants 2.5. Be ideal for her.
Perfect. Next horse, Monreal, 147. Is he stays hurdle and Liverpool hurdle again?
He's not good enough for that probably now. He's a bit older now, and he's going to struggle a little bit. I might even consider running him in a beginner's chase somewhere. It might be a bit easier for him. And we had to go chase him before, but the blinkers seemed to get him jumping a lot better. So we might just try that again.
Perfect. Okay. Next horse, 3 under 3.5, rated at 152. Is he one for the national again? No,
definitely won't. Didn't like it. He could do with being 142, not 152. Again, he could run it either Ascot in a couple of weeks' time or go for the Badger Ales chase.
Okay, I think these next few ones are all going to be ran in the Grand National, Paul. Next one is Hitman, 153.
He won't go in the national game. Didn't get the trip. He could run in the old Roan at Aintree in a couple of weeks' time.
Same for Can Do Kid.
He did get an injury in the national last year, and he's only just started back in some light work, so you won't see him until after Christmas. But if he's all right, he'll have an entry in the national game.
Excellent. Okay. Next horse, Stay Away Faye. Had a bit of a mixed season.
Yeah, he did have a mix. He's got too many P's in front of his name now, but he's in good shape at the moment. We haven't lost faith in him, so we just need to get him back. I haven't made a plan of where he's going to run. He's about a month, 6 weeks off running. But, yeah, let's hope we can get him back.
Perfect. Next horse was In the Waterside, chase marker 140. I think he had an injury. He had a hind injury.
He did. And, hind leg injury, sadly, meant we've only had one run over fences. But he's eligible for those graduation chases or a race like the Colin Parker. We could look at that in a fortnight's time if we thought he was ready. But, yeah, he just needs to gain some more experience.
Alex, one of Alex's notebook horses, isn't he, in the Waterside?
Oh, I love that horse. Big fan, Paul.
He's a good horse, yeah. He just needs to gain some experience.
Next horse, Matterhorn, Paul, marker 147. Well, he seems to be a good ground horse. Will we see him?
Yeah, he's a good ground horse. I mean, he's probably about 3 weeks off a run, and then we'll find a nice handicap for him somewhere.
Okay, not too many left, Paul. Irish Hill, hurdle rated of 132. Is he one for chasing?
Not generous. Not a generous mark. Probably give him one hurdle race and then try chasing.
Next one is No Drum and Ascend. Had an impressive bump win at Warwick.
Nice horse. Novice hurdling. Could go to Chepstow for a maiden hurdle first week in November.
Okay.
And I'd like to think he could end up being a shallow hurdle horse, but that's a long way off yet.
Affadil's got a mark of 1-2-2. He had a place in the Imperial Cup and the Scottish County Hurdle. Is there one for chasing?
Not yet. He's going to start at Ascot in 2 weeks' time over hurdles, and then we'll make a plan. So there's flatbred horses like him and I show. You never know where they're going to go and jump a fence, but we'll start over hurdles.
Perfect. Sandsbury, chase straight to the 144. Is he maybe one for the Haldon Gold Cup?
Possibly, or that Ascot race, or even the Old Rome. We haven't decided yet, but he could well be. He ran second in the Haldon Gold Cup last year. We can claim off him with J. Tidball or one on it, Plumpton, so he's possible, yeah.
I was at Aintree in 2024 when he won the Red Rome. That was an impressive front-running performance.
It was, but I think this year was even more impressive. Then he won another 100-gram race at Plumpton 3 weeks later, so he's on a good roll, but he's now crept back up the handicap again. He usually handicaps himself during the winter because he's not very good in the winter. I don't know why. He always comes good in the spring.
Next one, Henry II, hurdle mark 133.
Novice chase. Yeah.
Novice chase. Okay. I was going to say because I think he was running over 3 miles.
Yeah.
And last one, Paul Largy Poet started last season hurdling the one on chase debut at Exeter over 3 miles. Is it similar sort of distance for?
Yeah, I think he might go to the Badger Isles Chase. Actually, his owner's local to Wincanton. Although he's only had one run, because he's not a novice, I think he's eligible. So that would be. I'd love to get a run into him beforehand, but I'm not going to with the ground as it is. But he'll probably have to go and run that competitive race to have your second run over fences in. But I haven't got many choices.
Perfect. That's me finished, OJ. Thank you, Paul.
Lovely. Thanks for that, Paul. That was excellent. I'm sure people will take a great deal from that. So, yeah, slightly less pressure, but maybe a bit more on the spot. Alex has got a few quick fire questions to throw at you.
Absolutely, yeah. Few quick fire questions here for you, Paul. Some racing related, some not racing related.
Okay.
But yeah, just get stuck in. What's your favourite race outside of the spring festivals?
Coral Gold Cup.
Okay. Favourite race course to go to?
Wincanton, because it's 10 minutes down the road.
Are you interested in any other sports? And if so, what are you interested in?
Yeah, I love fishing, love sea fishing when I ever get chance. Shooting, do quite a lot of that with owners and friends. I enjoy that. But I like watching any good sport.
Any particular teams you follow?
Manchester United.
Oh no.
I know, exactly. Oh
no. Who's your favourite sire of all time?
My favourites are presenting the Sire Denman.
Okay. Favourite up and coming sire?
Favourite up and coming sire, Maxios.
Okay.
I think he could be very interesting.
If you could take any horse from any yard, who would it be?
Any horse from any yard, who would it be? I'd still like to have a bit of a go Constitution Hill. I think he's a hugely talented horse that has just had a few problems, and I'm sure a challenge is good in this game, and I'm sure Nicky's going to get him back. But yeah, he'd be a challenge. But he's a good, smart horse when he's right.
You've just upset Ian because Ian is Nicky Henderson's #1 fan. So.
And the other horse I think that I'd love to go chasing with is Kopek de Boards. That's going to be awesome, chaser.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, keen on that myself.
Yeah, big strong chaser.
Yeah.
If you weren't in racing, what job do you think you'd be doing?
Literally no idea. I never had any other thought other than going to racing. I suppose my dad and grandfather were in the police force, so perhaps I'd have been a policeman.
Oh.
What's your favourite race at the Cheltenham Festival?
Cheltenham Gold Cup.
Take out the Gold Cup. What's your second favourite race?
Champion Chase.
Love it. Imagine you're given all the power at the BHA and you can make one rule change. What change would you make at the BHA?
And that's a minefield. I mean, you one rule. I wouldn't do it for one rule. There's several need changing.
Any particular highlights? I can give you three. I'll give you 3 rules.
Okay. What that I could?
Yeah, just a couple that you'd want to change.
To get more. One of the most important things that people don't really get going is to make sure. A lot of the clerk of the course is brilliant, but what we could do is more accurate going reports. It's not really a rule change, but I mean,
No, I like it. And final question for you, Paul: who would be your dark horse for the season?
My dark horse for the season. I'm going to go with a young horse called Baby Ken, 3-year-old, never run. He's just one I quite like, but that could be a number of horses I could put in that. I don't know enough about them really at the moment. But Baby
Is that
Ken's
likely to be sort of juvenile or bumpers?
yeah,
or-
juvenile hurdlers. Yeah,
Okay.
I've got
Baby
a
Ken.
few quite nice ones. Okay, he's just one that I quite like.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Back to you, OJ.
Lovely. Right. Well, clock ticking. We know you've got an important call with Mr. Berlais coming up, so we'll try not to keep you much longer. Is it, any of you boys got anything else you want to throw out there before we finish?
Bumper horses, Paul, we should be keeping an eye out for.
Yeah, I've got some quite nice bumper horses this year that I quite like. In particular, there's a horse called Sapping Girl. He's a gelding actually, but he's called Sapping Girl by Blue Brazil. He's a very nice horse. Roxy Man actually is a Cap Guard 3-year-old that'll run in one of those juvenile bumpers. We quite like him. River Kwai, he's a nice horse. Will run after Christmas. JPR2, half brother to JPR1. He's a nice horse. But we've probably got about 20 unraced 4-year-olds, and as the season goes on, they get better and better. So you don't really, we just a nice few to look after and look forward to running.
No, brilliant. Thank you.
How's Olive getting on?
Yeah, good. She was in smiling, never stop smiling day. She schooled Caldwell Potter this morning, so she's well happy with that. She rides him and Kalif to Berlais every day, amongst a couple others. So she's and Berlais that she used to train. Actually, she rides him most days. She's in good shape. I think she's going to ride for a Sunday at Kempton on Himalaya. She always rides him, and yes, they're getting on really well. I've got a good team of sort of assistants. Charlie St Quinton and George Edsell are assistants. Olive's people assistant. They're a good, young, enthusiastic team. That's what you need to surround yourself by good people and good, young, enthusiastic people who don't mind working. And Olive's slotted in really well.
And how's Meg involved within the team now?
Well, Meg's really obviously independent in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
She's obviously very busy with her work with the television, and she's buying quite a lot of flat horses and that. And she's bought me a couple during the summer, and she's working hard always to try and find some nice horses really. But she comes and rides out from time to time, comes racing a little bit, but she's obviously busy with it on her own,
Of course.
Just one from me, if I can, OJ.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been lucky enough to go to Fergal's yard a couple of times and met Charlie, who was just the nicest guy and really kind to us. So how's he getting on with you guys? Is he settled in well?
Yeah, Charlie settled in well. He's done very well. He obviously ultimately got his sights set on training one day in the future, but he's here to learn, and he works hard. He's a nice lad, and he'll get on well with the owner. So yeah, very pleased with him.
Brilliant, good to hear.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Well, I think we've just about hit the half-hour mark, so we will let you get off, Mr. Nicholls. A massively heartfelt thank you, because agreeing to come on and spare your time, very valuable time with us is fantastic, and we really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
We wish you all the best for the upcoming season, and hope all the horses come back safe and well, and you get
See you soon.
very close to that 4,000 mark. We'll be watching with interest.
Thank you, guys.